Democrats in Congress tried unsuccessfully to limit President Trump's war powers in Iran. While Republicans blocked the move today, it highlights a major unresolved issue to take up when Congress fully returns from recess next week. At the same time, there's growing concern among Democrats and some of the president's allies over the language he's used this week, including that, quote, a whole civilization will die as negotiations with Iran continued. Congressional correspondent Lisa Desjardins is here now with how Congress is responding to the ongoing war. So, Lisa, let's start with Congress and what specifically we expect when they come back.
In terms of action, Democrats in both chambers are planning to force roll call votes on their resolution to end military action in Iran and force the president to get congressional consent before he does any more. Now, that kind of move has failed in the Senate before. I expect it to fail again. But House Democrats think they may have a chance of a symbolic victory there. They need just 2 Republicans, depending on who shows up, to pass it. And they think with that civilization quote and with the back and forth over this ceasefire, the confusion, that maybe they have a shot there. We also expect Democrats to keep pounding away at the idea of the 25th Amendment. Many of our viewers know that's the part of the Constitution that says a majority of the cabinet can vote to remove the president. Now, we spoke with constitutional law professor Marco Gerhardt about this. He said the drafters may have had a good idea when they wrote that, but it's really impractical.
It is, I think, unimaginable to expect a cabinet an entire cabinet to turn against the president and put them there. In this situation, it's even less likely because the president chose people for their loyalty.
And he says there really is zero chance that he sees this cabinet moving on Trump in that way at this time. However, Democrats here are making a political point, really. They don't have the ability to push Trump out. They don't have the votes. They don't have the power. They want to put all of Trump's negatives on Republicans as we head into a midterm.
So let's talk more about those Republicans, how they're reacting to the president's rhetoric and his approach to Iran. They may not necessarily want to remove him, but they're not exactly seeing this the same way, are they?
Yeah, you know, I said this on Twitter, and it caused, or X, I should say, it caused a little bit of controversy. But really, I did not see the kind of avalanche or tidal wave of support that we usually see for President Trump's big decisions from Republicans. That's not to say there was no support. There was some, including from Burgess Owens. He's a congressman from Utah, and he wrote this as the ceasefire news came across, saying it was a very positive step, and that he added Iran has been allowed to inflict terror for too long. But in contrast, look at Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski and what she wrote. She said the president's threat to wipe out Iran's civilization just cannot be excused away, and it is an affront to the ideals our nation has sought to uphold for 250 years. That's a fellow Republican. What about Republican leaders was one of my main questions. There you see House Speaker Mike Johnson, Senate Leader John Thune. Neither one of them, even to this day, has had any direct words about the president's actions in Iran, the ceasefire, none of it. So their lack of comment, I think, is noteworthy. Meanwhile, who is going on social media? Let's look at some faces, some loud voices from the right who used to be very big Trump supporters. Now they're blasting the president for his Iran war policy, from Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson to Megyn Kelly there and Alex Jones. So when Congress returns next week, expect all of these dynamics for Republicans to collide.
What about the Democrats, then? What does your reporting show on whether they will actually try to impeach President Trump?
It's a passionate debate behind the scenes, especially for House Democrats right now. They know that they don't really have the votes to get it through the House or the Senate, but they are concerned about what they see, and they also, their base is pushing them to make a point. There are some, for example, like Senator Andy Kim, who says Republicans should join in the impeachment effort.
We know that Trump is unfit to be commander-in-chief. He's dragged us into an unconstitutional, deeply unpopular, and senseless war of choice with no plan, no strategy about what happens next and how we get out of this. And let's be honest, this war is not going well. It's making your life more expensive and less safe. Enough.
But many Democrats say, wait a minute, we get into an impeachment fight that we know we're probably going to lose. That gets in the way of our bigger messages, which he's trying to get at on affordability this year.
You're going to be tracking all of this in the days ahead. Lisa Desjardins, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.